Hi, it's your girl Oyin, and this is my first podcast episode. The name is still to be figured out, but it will be in the title. Yes. Yeah. So let's get into this. So what I'll be doing is just like quick 10-minute episodes, discussing a variety of topics. And today I'm just going with the flow because I wasn't actually planning to record today. And the reason for that is because I've been procrastinating quite a lot. But we're here now. And I think the reason why I've been procrastinating a lot is, because of validation and that perfectionism. And I used to think perfectionism was a good thing. I just used to say, oh no, I like you. Do you know what I mean? Like good standards. You want things done to be done right. You want it to be done perfectly. You want the right equipment, the right lighting. You want everything to look perfect. And what matters more is actually you just getting things done rather than waiting for the perfect time. And if there's anything that I've learned from reading scriptures, is God doesn't always do things at the most ideal time or where we feel like it's logically perfect. He does things in his infinite wisdom at the time that is just right. And a lot of the time that he says is right doesn't always feel right to us. And I was just doing my makeup. I was just like, I just want to take some pictures. But then as I set everything up, I was just like, even though I felt like it wasn't perfect, I looked and I was just like, okay, let's do something with this. So here we are. And I wanted to talk briefly about validation and perfectionism and people pleasing. Because I feel like to be able to do anything in life and to be able to actually live a fulfilled life, you can't be carrying the burden of validation or seeking other people's validations before you do things. Like, I think I realized last year, it got to a point where before I would dye my hair or before I'd cut my hair, I would ask everybody for their opinion, including Madame at the back of the camera.
Hello.
Oh gosh, I don't even know if you guys can hear her. She knows this too, but I'll be like, but do you think I should? Do you think I shouldn't? And I realized I didn't really trust myself to make decisions or to be assertive enough to just push myself out there and to just do things. And there's times where God is just calling you to just do things on a whim. And there's many times he's called me to just do things on a whim, like posting or creating this kind of video. But at the back of our minds, when God calls us to do a lot of things, his validation doesn't tend to really be enough. And I don't know, maybe because we don't see him, because we don't know him enough, or we don't understand the way that he works. And if you go to the book of Judges, we see the story of Gideon, and Gideon was hiding food in a wine press, which isn't where it's supposed to be hidden, because he was scared of the Amorites. And then the angel of the Lord appears to him and it's just like, yo bro, you're a mighty man of valor, you're a mighty warrior. And he's just like, what are you talking about? He's never fought before. The credentials aren't there physically, but in the spiritual realm has already been ordained that is who he is. So in that moment, if he was to, after getting the word of the Lord from the angel of the Lord, go to other people and start saying, okay, what do you think about this? Or do you think that I should go for it? Do you think I should actually gather an army together? Then where would the children of Israel be? Where would we be right now? Really? So that's just showing the importance of when God has called you to do something, sometimes it's even an insult to go around asking. Obviously, I understand in the book of Proverbs, it says in the multitude of many, or in the council of many, in the multitude of the council of many, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Sorry. But sometimes, a lot of the times, there's confusion because not everybody was there when God said what he said to you. And it's not for everyone to be there when God said what he said to you. What should matter and what builds intimacy and what builds tenacity in the spirit is actually you just being able to say, forget it, I'm just going to do it. And that's what I'm doing now. And this is so exciting. And I'm excited for this journey. I'm about to turn 24. My birthday is literally in 7 days' time. And I feel like this is a very pivotal time for me because God is calling me. I don't know what exactly he's calling me into, but I feel like I'm in a space where he just wants me to be still and to tick off the list of things that I've been delaying to do before he can give me the next group of instructions. And this may be a bit of a word for someone, but some of y'all, you're waiting, you're like, God, what should I do now? God, give me instructions. And God is like, there's still some overdue instructions from 10 years ago. So get it checked off. It may sound weird. It may seem insignificant. It may seem unimportant, but there's always something to learn. There's always something to gain. You don't know what doors or what connections or what things can happen when you just obey a simple instruction. So throw validation out of the window. It doesn't serve you in any way or capacity. And yeah, let me just check how many minutes is on there. 5 minutes. Wow, guys, this is more intense than I expected. Okay, so, and just to talk about validation and the fear of people's opinions briefly, the only validation that bears any fruits and the only fear or reverence that bears any fruits is the fear of God. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. But any other fear or any validation that you're really seeking for, especially if it would lead you outside of the will of God, like let's say, for example, God has called you to create a platform or to start a business or to leave a particular job or to even leave a person that checks all of the boxes on paper. Everybody else to the world is going to look like foolishness, but we understand that the carnal mind doesn't understand the things of the spirit. And carnality is not just about whether or not someone is a Christian. Carnality is not just about whether or not someone is a believer or not, or whether or not they know God. A carnal mind is just a place where the spirit isn't occupying. So if someone isn't walking in the spirit consistently, or maybe in that point of time they're walking in the flesh, and then you're telling them an instruction that God has given you in the spirit and they don't understand it, it's not actually their fault, but it's your fault for not trusting the God that has told you what he's told you. I understand seeking counsel, but do you know what I mean? Like, let's use some discernment here. But the only fear that would ever bear fruit is the fear of God. And that's why even in Jeremiah chapter 1, there's a verse, and I'll probably put in a video, where it talks about when God was sending Jeremiah to the children of Israel, he basically says to them, oh, do not be terrified of them, because they are stiff-necked people, but be terrified. Do not be terrified of them. If not, I will terrify you in front of them. So that's God trying to say, please prioritize your fears. And also remember that at the end of the day, fear will not be an excuse when God is taking into account everything that you've done in your life and the things that you should have done. We have to remember that as well. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking, you know. This is so nerve-wracking. This is not like doing TikTok. I think because I can't look at myself.
You don't need to look at yourself.
And
you should just speak.
I should just speak. Guys, I don't know how some people do this, and they just sit here and they just be talking. But yeah, 2024, let us throw the need for people's validation out of the window. Q2. What does Q2 mean? Quarter two. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is This is coming to the end of a quarter period. Oh, I love this month. This is the start of a new quarter. Okay. So there's many dreams, plans, hopes. You know, if you want to start a flower shop, it's time to start a flower shop. You want to start a bakery, it's time to bake. You want to create content, even though it may seem like, oh, the space is oversaturated. Create your content. At the end of the day, whatever you do, make sure that it's giving glory to God and it's in alignment with what he wants you to do. Okay? Don't just rush into things because there's a hype to it. Right? Like recently, God has redirected me. Like, I'm going into 24 right now. I don't know what's going on with my career. Snip. If you get the drift, you get the drift. Now pivoting, looking at different industries, trying to figure out what God wants me to do, and all that God's been placing in my heart. And usually he'll be like, oh, okay, apply to this or do that, or I'll just see myself getting busy and all of this stuff. And this is the first time in years that I've just had to sit down and just take a chill pill and just be like, okay, God, what do you need me to do? And he said, come and do this. So here we are. talking. So I don't know what God's gonna do. I don't know what God's plans are from here, but what I'm trying not to do this year is live the way that I've been living for years, where I've been doing everything in the lens of trying to prove myself, or in the lens of accolades. And something that I've learned is people's accolades at the end of the day, they're like, oh nice, that's what you do. Oh nice, that's how much you earn. Oh nice, that's your husband. Oh nice, that's your wife. Oh nice, that's your car. Oh nice, that's your bag. Like, at the end of the day, people's accolades, it won't dry your eyes at night if you're not satisfied with what you're doing with your life. People's accolades is not what would be spoken about on Judgment Day, when God is like, but yeah, I understand that you have a 6-figure salary, but I told you to go and minister to people and you didn't minister to them. So yikes. It's people's accolades won't save you from that. People's accolades, it won't give you peace of mind when you're stressed out, and not stressed out because the work is hard. You're stressed out because you're not where you're supposed to be, or you're falling sick all of the time because you're walking in disobedience, or you're anxious all the time in your relationship because you know that's not your man. So let's throw validation in the bin. Let's walk in obedience this year. And thank you for joining me on my first episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok. See ya.